Welcome. My name's Melissa, and today I was called to do a YouTube that brought spirit messages. So we're going to do some channeling, and in particular, we're going to do some channeling and spirit messages from the Archangels. And while we're talking, they're saying that the Archangels and the celestial beings, the heavens of pure divine love of God, source, can do, if we ask, can do a little bit of a clearing, cleansing, transmuting while we're channeling, as well as an alignment into our highest good, and in particular into grace. So an alignment into grace, which is very healing for all of us. And so it feels like a really uplifting transmission while we do our Archangel channeling. And we just got through September, Friday the 13th, 2019, which was the full moon in Pisces coming into Aries, Jaguar full moon, which is helping us navigate through our own darkness and through the icky, murky pieces of the world, our consciousness, navigate through our consciousness that's not clear, and bring into balance a little bit more of the divine feminine and masculine. So those are pieces inside of us that need balancing, each and every one of us, whether we're male or female. So I find that fascinating. I absolutely was not going to do anything like this when I was thinking about doing my YouTube video today. I am going to start with pulling a couple of cards before we're channeling, and to let you know that I chose a crystal to work with today and hold. The frequencies can help us align and give us strength and bring us understanding of the frequencies of the crystal. And I chose Morganite. So I have 2 pieces of Morganite. I'm holding 2 pieces of Morganite. And I did a really, really big cleansing before I started. So Morganite, pardon me. I use Morganite all the time. You would not even believe how many pieces I have in my house of Morganite. Super cool. Very helpful. But these are Morganite. And they're pink and light, and they're for self-love as well as all love situations, frequencies, ideas, things like that. So we're gonna hold those, and we're gonna pick a couple of cards as we start the channeling. And I'm gonna call upon all of our guides and guardian angels of pure divine love. I'm gonna call upon God's source, the light source, creator. I'm going to call upon all of our higher selves and all of our guides and guardian angels, as well as the archangels most high. And I always like to add in the Holy Spirit. And so I'm going to call upon them. And again, the archangels most high. Archangels Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raphael, Shamuel, Jophiel, Jeremiel, Zadkiel, Raziel, Azrael, Haniel, Caniel, Ramiel, all of the archangels most high. I call upon Metatron and Sandalphon for each and every one of us. And as we begin, I am going to draw a few cards and ask them on our behalf, if it's okay with your souls or okay with your higher selves, to ask them to start helping us clear and cleanse, each and every one of us, every layer of who we are, what we are, and help us release and transmute. They're saying we will do it. They're already talking. We will do this for you if you ask. So ask them to transmute, cut cords, release all of the things we've been holding on to, the wounds, the traumas, the pains. It could be collective consciousness. It could be in our family lines. They're saying much work is being done even if we don't know it, to clear and cleanse the woundings and the sufferings and the burdens and the blockages and the heaviness in our family lines, our DNA, that could go back, I don't even know how far, as well as clearing and cleansing. I'm asking for, on behalf of everyone that wants this, is the clearing of our own patterns and shadows and fears and wounds, and perfect alignment into grace, into everything that's divinely good for all of us, all of the highest good. So you might be able to feel some in your body as we start channeling and keep talking. And as with each breath, you'll breathe in grace. And each breath out, you blow out any resistance and pain and suffering and ego blocks or wounds, trauma, abuse, fear, oppression, depression, suffering, loss, grief, disorder, imbalance, in pure divine love and grace. Out anything lower energy, lower frequency, that we no longer need, ideas of others, projections of others, envy, jealousy, anger, persecution, judgment, anything we no longer need, no longer serves the highest good. We breathe out, and with each breath in, we're going to breathe in pure divine love and grace. Each cell of our bodies, each molecule, each layer and level, each connection we have. And I ask for this as well. So each of our loved ones, our friends, our family, our loved ones, living and crossed over, and people we've known in the past, people we will know in the future, our neighborhoods, our schools, our works and offices and careers and streets and our cities and our states and nations. We ask for the transmutation of anything that keeps us from having harmony and grace in our everyday lives. He says, you can go ahead and pull a card. So I believe this is Archangel Michael presenting himself first. And so I'm going to, I got out some of my cards recently. I really don't use them very often. I'm really visual. So kind of mystic, seer person. So I don't usually do anything but channel all the energies, and I'm visual. So I see it and hear and feel. But I got some of them out of my cards, and I was really drawn today to this this one called Nature's Whispers. It has some of my favorite art. My friend in Arizona, one of my favorite friends, she loves Josephine Wall and Angela Hatfield. But this oracle deck is called Nature's Whispers. And it's just stunning artwork. Stunning. I mean, you just can't even... I think there's grace and beauty and joy in each artwork. So I'm going to pull a card and see what, kind of can be part of the theme for us. And what we can know. What we can know and ask about. And here's what I'm coming up with. Gratitude and appreciation. Pardon? Gratitude and appreciation. Stunning. There's a unicorn and a rainbow and a garden and a child. I'm really, really reminded to think about of our childish or childlike innocence and joy, that bubbling up that we have. The passion comes from this. Creativity comes from this. Joy comes from this. Love comes from that space, a really clear space of childlike joy and happiness. So, oops. Gratitude and appreciation. So we send out, in all levels and all ways, our deep gratitude for everything that we've ever known, our nourishment and love and safety and comfort in this place we call out with thanks and gratitude. Appreciation for all of our connections and people and friends. And as always, my very favorite deck is Sacred Geometry Activations deck. And we'll pull a card and see maybe an continuing theme of what we can know, and see how that helps us in our channeling and getting spirit messages from the archangels. So I'm asking, what can we know? What can we what can expand our awareness and our consciousness today as we rise up together? And throat chakra. This one's good for me. Throat chakra. So the card says, I wish I had my glasses with me. Oh, here they are. The card says, the throat chakra, which would be, certainly expression. The frequency of the throat chakra, the blue flower of life, supports our self-expression, and our sense of peace and balance, which I think has been the theme, throughout the Jaguar full moon, balancing, navigating through our own darkness. The Jaguar eyes can see in the dark, and they have very stealth balance. So, and the throat chakra here is the blue, and brings us a release of all oppression and suppression as we speak our sacred truth, express and expand in our divinity and sacred truth. So I really like that throat chakra. That is awesome. And then last but not least, I chose Archangel Oracle deck from Doreen Virtue, so that we can just ask to speak to whoever comes up, and maybe in our Archangel channeling today. I think everybody has been a little bit out of sorts here and there. It's been a little bit exhausting for people lately, here and there. I mean, it didn't have to overall be that way. And so I can kind of feel some of that energy cleansing out of us. Okay. Creativity, I like it. So the card I picked first was Archangel Gabriel, creative writing. Make time to write down your thoughts in a journal, in a notebook, or pen an article or a blog or a book. Share. This goes with the throat chakra activation that we just had. So share, express, expand in your sacred truth, and tell your story. We certainly aren't here to judge anyone else, but we all learn from each other. So tell your story, share your truth, and you're welcome to ask Archangel Gabriel to help you in connection. He's a connector, and writing, journaling. Archangel Gabriel can help with that. So I call forth Archangel Gabriel and ask if there are any divine messages for us from Archangel Gabriel that can be shared. He says, why, yes, on a global scale, there is a need for the balance to shift, for all of humanity to be heard and known. And I think some of us, I know I do sometimes, yearn for that, heart connection to be, and to be heard and known, understood, appreciated, loved, accepted. And so he's saying this is a really great time for your prayers and meditations to include unity and harmony for yourself and others, and to share your truth. And so he's saying, really blog, if you have something to share with others, to teach others, it's a great time to think about that, and just share a little bit of yourself and who you are. Tell your story. It can help many. He says, I can help you connect and help you unwind some of the knotted energy it's with us sometimes, to help us balance out and focus, and have clarity on our path and direction. So he says, I'm very glad to help this. You can ask for Archangel Gabriel energy to sweep through you and burn away anything that is keeping you from your harmony and balance and grace. He says we wish to share this with humanity and the earth as these processes of energy influxes come in, really and continue to wake us up to our truths. He says, I will certainly, in several of you, have been really exhausted and tired. He said there are specific people I'm talking to that might watch this transmission who have been just really not apathetic about themselves, just really burned out and almost apathetic to what used to be their passions and creativity. It's just been exhausting, our shifting and growing and processing within ourselves. And he would like to invite you to take his hand and have a sweeping of his energy and help you ground and connect to the higher frequencies that will help you express and connect with the right people. So I also will help you really connect with your soul tribe, who always love you, your soul families. Some of you don't know some of them yet, and some of you know some of them, but really send out a wave and just like really electrify your hands to holding, I almost am seeing the vision of holding hands together. It could be people we know and don't know, but it's almost like us holding out our arms and holding our hands with people in our soul tribe. They could be in different parts of the world. They could live next door. They could be in your household. But Archangel Gabriel's connecting the dots and connecting our hands together to sort of infuse each other with support. And he's saying grace, as well as the creativity and inspiration to come back into your refreshed, restored selves, and kind of be reconnected in source and God, the light, love, or your divine good. Whatever words you use, it doesn't matter, whatever background you have. But Archangel Gabriel is saying that I will very much like to help you connect with your highest good, your right people, and be able to commune and share with each other and help each other grow and balance without judgment, but with great love. He's saying you are divine and you are loved, you are pure, and each and every one of you are loved and as you are supposed to be. As we continue to take responsibility for ourselves and align ourselves with our highest good, There are blessings and happinesses and successes and things we're not expecting. And several of you who would watch this today, and it doesn't matter, this is timeless, have some really good surprise blessings upcoming. It could be reconnections, it could be harmony, it could be abundance, but he's saying, Archangel Gabriel is saying, I will help you connect and open up your throat chakra so that you can express and share your divine good, your truth, your knowing, your understanding with each other. Don't be afraid to share. Again, you are all loved. I'm also feeling a message from someone's mom in spirit who is here as a really strong source of support for someone who's been really hurting, functioning, normal, seeming to be themselves, but really hurting inside. And so, whoever's mom this is wants to say, I'm really sorry that it's really hard. You are so strong and you are so brave. I'm going to help you understand inside of yourself why things are happening, and we're going to help you in the days and weeks ahead how to be a conscious creator, co-creator of your reality, to help you learn how to ease up some of the things that we subconsciously create every day by our subconscious thoughts, old patterns, wounds, and help us trust and open up to higher, just happier, safer, easier pieces on our life journeys. And so whoever this is says, hold strong. And so some of the people that would watch this that have mothers who have passed, watch for some signs in the next days and just really recognize that resonance of your mother just coming to hold you and hug you. The next Archangel card I'm going to pull, thank you, Archangel Gabriel, is Archangel Jeremiel. And this is what I was really receiving messages about for a couple of weeks, actually. This card that I pulled is Overcoming Difficulties. Can you see the bird rising up? I don't know if it's a phoenix. What is this? A dove, a bird, and a feather. So if you are into symbols and synchronicities and feathers or birds or doves or whatever this is, might resonate with you. But overcoming difficulties is the theme for this part of the channeling. And Archangel Jeremiel, the worst is now behind you, and you are surmounting any previous challenges. And I am seeing Archangel Jeremiel, and Archangel Jeremiel is saying to all of you, the disappointments and the misunderstandings and the pain and the reactions and actions, which we all do things differently, that have just been frustrating and challenging us, are dissipating and being transmuted a little bit as we overcome the difficulties, even some that we never thought we could get through. And so Archangel Jeremiel is also kind of showing the same visual for me, where we are reaching our hands out and we have a connection where we've been feeling so disconnected and alone, and not even connected with spirit very well. Those of us who are really make it a life part of your life path to connect with spirit, God, the universe, light, but also our people. So the people that have hurt us the most, it feels like there's a healing going on for some of those connections. And I feel like our soul tribe, and some of the toughest people, some of the people that have hurt us the most are some of our favorite soul family members in spirit. I mean, hands down. And I'm seeing us, Archangel Jeremiel help us connect and rise up and heal from some of the disappointments and losses and pains within communications, connections that we have, family units, friendships, marriages, relationships of all kinds, people at work, even, and help clear out some of those challenges and difficulties where they no longer can like really pummel us and bother us as much. I'm down for that. Archangel Jeremiel also wants to say, and helping with the theme of opening the throat chakra, and really optimizing all the chakras in alignment in grace. That means helping clear out your expression, as they were saying earlier. And he's very much very much a part of the connecting us so that we can share our truth. And humanity is going to have a new truth, he says, and that will be with more balance and ease and grace. He's saying to a couple of you that it just feels like there's overthinking, over worrying. That's natural. Human beings all have this, all of us. And he says some of you have had it extra. You haven't been sleeping very well. Some of the pains, the difficulties have caused extra burden, or you're re-traumatized, or PTSD is coming up. Old things that possibly we thought we had healed. And he says, I'm almost taking a vacuum and vacuuming away some of those old splinters and old pieces within each of you. If you so desire, and you can always ask me to help you really clear your path and sweep away some of those pains and difficulties. And very much like to help. And he says, humanity's doing a great job. Each one of you have chosen, or some of us spiritual people say the volunteers. We volunteered to come and help with the Earth's ascension and the awakening of us all. And he's saying he's very proud of all of us, and we're going to be quickly, with a quickening, moving into each new piece, each new stage of life, era of life. And so he would like us not to take in some of our old difficulties to this new energy frequency that we have carried for most of us, probably for a lifetime or many lifetimes. And he says, as the earth grows and changes, just like all of us each day, we're changing and growing into really more well-balanced people. Well, some are not, but he's promising the help of the heavens for this, sweeping away the difficulties. He says there's a male, young or old, I don't know, that he would like to say, I've got you. I know it seems like everything is disastrous and everything ends up, it's not worth it, you can't have anything. But that's a false program, and we're going to work on it with you so that you know that you're lovable and that everything everywhere is not going to turn disastrous for you. As you look in the mirror and really realize some of your issues are stuck, like PTSD or flashbacks in you, causing reactions or others to react unpleasantly or imbalanced back at you like a mirror. that will help iron out the creases. And you can notice and breathe as you choose to act with integrity and honesty and the best you know how, with each breath, each situation. Oh, I dropped one of my morganite. That they'll help ease out some of those old beliefs that nothing is going to go well for you. The truth is, you are precious as well. So any mistakes that you've made or angers that you have, ask the heavens, ask God, ask the light, Archangel Jeremiel, to help you smooth out the creases and no longer expect difficulties and blockages and pain. We'd like to help you rise up. So there's a male, they're specifically talking to you, saying, learn to expect good things and know that you are lovable and loved, and not everything is like a punishment and meant to stop you, harm you, block you. Watch as you grow and change, and know that you're loved. I like that. I also, even though I'm not a man, I really like that one. The next card I'm pulling is You Know What to Do, Archangel Uriel, who I love to work with sometimes. Archangel Uriel is known for kind of helping sweep away some of the darkness and help align us in higher truths, higher consciousness. Pardon. You Know What to Do. I like this card. So this is almost like the Hermit card, where this guy's like, I'm not quite sure what to do, but I'm holding up this lantern, this lamp, that just really shines bright light on whatever I need it to, and helps me understand what to do. You know what to do. Archangel Uriel says, trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. Trust your inner knowledge and inklings and knowing, and act upon it without delay. So I am, pardon me. I get a sip of water. Archangel Uriel is saying that all of us have been activated a little bit to listen to our inner voice, our truth, as well as express it now more. And Archangel Uriel is also saying, like, I have been working with you who have felt like you're disconnected, and that you're fearing, and that you can't trust your own inner voice anymore, because it just feels like it's taken you to some really tough lessons and hard places. And he wants to say, no, you are all doing really well. You came here and again chose to be here, so that you could learn through hardships for the last time. And I think what he's referring to is stopping the karmic wheel and this really low energy, as we clear our energy fields, clear our karma, which would be imbalances, so that we can go and really go into an era of peace. He's saying grace, because that's part of the theme, right? Remember, we're breathing in grace with every breath. He says there has also been kind of like architectures of difficulties, and he knows other people have been challenging. It just almost made us not trust our own intuitions and selves. I know I've had it, have been doubtful and confused. And he says to some of you, many people like to give their opinion on who you should be and what you should do. in any certain circumstance. And sometimes it's really taking your authority. So some of you are learning extra tough lessons, or really annoying things that kind of cause us to think we really don't know, and we should listen to other people who are taking our authority. It's kind of like society has sort of conditioned us to do so. We not make up our own minds, but we listen to the others or take the others' advice. You should be this. And I cannot tell you how many times, I just will tell you a little piece about me over the last few years, that many people said, you can't like so-and-so, you can't do this, you can't do that. And certainly about like boyfriends. And I was like, who do you know? Like, I didn't ask you, and do you even know if I have a boyfriend or not? And they would say, you can't like them. It will, they don't like you, and they don't, anything going on. And I was like, okay, well, no. And you can't, leave your house. I remember someone really specifically say, I went to work and I was working with a business manager and an assistant to help me answer the phone and schedule. And I was working really hard. Like I, left at 8 a.m. and came back late. And they said, well, you can't leave the house. You're not allowed to, and do it my way because you don't do it right. And I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know, you know very much about me at all. And I thought, this is just a little lesson. It's like a lesson to know how to trust my own self and do boundaries. And so Archangel Uriel is saying boundaries and our lessons to remember that we do have rights, and we do know what's right for ourselves. And it's okay to like and love whoever you want. No one else gets to know. And it's okay for you to certainly stay at your house or go to work when you feel the need. And so things like that kept coming up for me over and over. And frankly, it harmed me. It was really tough for me in my lifetime, being having my authority taken and having extremely tough PTSD. Causes you to feel confused and sad, worried, and not be able to trust your own inner guidance. And so Archangel Uriel is saying, we're holding up the lantern, the light, for you, so that you can clear your path, squeegee off the windshield, squeak, 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 and relearn the pattern of trusting your inner guidance and truth, and know that you're on the right path. You do know what to do, and you do check yourself often and ask, are you helping others? Are you being honest? Are you being your authentic self? And so this will be some of the help that Archangel Uriel helps us all with, and helps us with our boundaries and push away old patterns and old beliefs that someone else is right, and gets to choose your boyfriend, or gets to choose your career, or gets to choose really like your rights. And as Archangel Uriel is saying, I will help you shine your beautiful shiny selves, and you are perfect who you are. Any processing or stages of your life, he'll hold the light up for you to help you, your truth, lead the way to you. Good job. I really like it. I really like it. We're going to do one more. So what Archangel would like to bring us a message? Archangel Uriel says, I'm not finished. I have one more message, and watch for the white electric light that he brings. So if some of you are seeing a little burst of light, around you. You're welcome to ask for Archangel Uriel and ask for kind of an unmistakable sign that he is ready, willing, and able to help. And it might come forth as a burst of light. And he has a strength about him, like in his resonance, that's really nice. It's almost commanding. And so you can ask for the light to guide your way and help you really connect with your heart chakra that's opening, and know that you can trust yourself and you do know what to do. He's saying maybe some of the people are not aware, but you know better for yourselves than anyone else. We will all help each other and say, "Ooh, that looks dangerous." If you're getting ready to walk over, the fire pit, maybe your friends and loved ones will say it might be a good idea to walk around. You don't want those sparks catching your, shorts on fire. But you do know, and you know what's right for you. And Archangel Uriel, it says, we love you very much, and watch as I bring bursts of light to each and every one of you that wants this. The next card I've chosen is Spiritual Understanding, Archangel Raziel. And the card says, I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truths. Spiritual understanding. I think many of us are yearning to grow in our spiritual understandings and expand for sure in our spiritual understandings and our connections with God. And they're changing a little bit. And I know in my lifetime, I very much resonate with symbols, signs. It's one of the reasons I can read the energy really well is because I understand what some of the signs and symbols mean to me in everyday life, everything, in the energies. It's just a perception. So Archangel Raziel is also known for knowing the mysteries, bringing us truths, the mysteries, the truth of really deep things that sometimes is connected to science, spirit connected, helping us understand how that works. And so secrets and mysteries of God, Raziel brings that. So Archangel Raziel, over the many, many years, I love the archangels to talk to, right? And I always think he looks weird. And so I don't know what weird is to anybody, but many of the beings and ancestors and loved ones, well, not necessarily our loved ones that, like our family members and things look weird. But many of the beings or literally the ancestors and higher dimension light beings don't quite look exactly like us. Some of the galactic beings certainly don't, and some of the just light beings that don't have heavy bodies like we do appear to me over the years as just like different rays of light and all these things. They just don't look like people all the time, and that can be really disconcerting as well. But Archangel Raziel is one of the most peculiar looking archangels I've ever seen. Most of them present themselves in my perception as human looking and really pretty and almost like cartoon royal, right? Raziel is a whole bunch of symbols put together. Also, Archangel Metatron is also a whole bunch of symbols put together to me. And there's a certain resonance, and it's sort of a quiet, knowledgeable, mysterious energy of divinity. He comes together to me looking in appearance like a lot of different symbols and sort of like faces and eyes, which sounds creepy to say, but it's not at all. So this is really cool to be able to talk to Raziel. I have not asked for Archangel Raziel or really had connection with him consciously in quite a number of years, actually. So I'm delighted to ask Archangel Raziel, what is the message? I am here to align you each with whatever path you have chosen in truth inside of you, and a reawakening into your connection with God or Source or the universe. It's that just really surpasses anything we've known in the past. So part of this has to do with almost like, again, like scrubbing away the windshield and knowing that we have ancient knowledge and truth inside of us. And he says, each of us will be awakening to our co-creation and manifestation skills. We will be really reawakening to our connections with God, our magic inside, our knowledge inside, our truth from many times and places. Like we could go back to different eras of time where they looked at things differently. Like, for instance, the Egyptians, they knew about ascension. It's written all over the place, but only a few people got to have that. So they're rising up in consciousness. They showed the kings becoming like one of the gods, right? Well, even they knew that God is kind of a one whole truth, love. And some of the others that masters and gods, or as we would think would possibly be extraterrestrials, according to Ancient Aliens TV show, they just had more knowledge and more recognition of their gifts, talents, connections with the light of God. And so we are going to be reconnected with those pieces of ourselves where we do understand, where we're coming out of a really open heart chakra, creating our everyday reality. So Raziel is saying, you really do have the responsibility, and the truth is, you are the creator of your reality. And so when everything keeps going wrong in some level, somewhere where we can't remember, you do know that you're responsible for this. And it's not, fair to just run around and tell people, well, you created that, like, as an excuse to kind of judge them. Not good. I wouldn't do it. However, for us to awaken, which is what's happening, we are awakening to the realization that we are creating our own reality, each one of us. And we will resonate with certain people that will help us learn in good ways and bad ways. So we want to choose the good ways, the smooth learning, the smoother relationships, and to be around others of, like we would call like-mindedness or frequency. Be in places where we belong. And so Raziel will help us understand and awaken to the knowledge. The really just, it's almost, some of it's like simple, and some of it's sort of abstract knowledge of who we really are and our connections with God. He says, you are all a piece of God. So I'm children of God, and I will help you find your magic, your understanding, your knowledge, your wisdom, deep wisdom. It's almost like we can look around at society for a long time and go, what is wrong with people? Like, this is not, no, how could we possibly be this gross and harm each other and be talking about war and, tweeting about hating somebody down the street? It's just really, it's yucky in the energy, right? So Archangel Raziel is saying that I will help anyone who wants to understand the real wisdom, real magic, the real truth of God. I always call some of the biblical people magicians. And for instance, one of the big ones is King Solomon. They're showing me this. They're saying that there's an activation going on right now in the energies about the Star of David. So the Solomon's seal is the Star of David in a circle. And this is esoteric energy. It's frequency. And, you choose to do everything from the highest good, and everything will come into place. You choose to use your knowledge for the highest good and understanding and growth, and helping others, and everything will come into place. So Raziel is helping us wake up to really ancient truths that we know. We could also talk about esoteric understanding, knowledge, wisdom. And one of my favorite subjects is in my shamanism, or my shaman practices and work. So that could be indigenous tribes, peoples from all over the world do things a little bit differently, but we could call it shamanic work that they've done. And so Raziel helps the shamanic minded people understand their shamanic practices and knowledge that comes from deeply from their family lines, from the collective consciousness, from different times and places and eras. And so we will be in remembrance of these, earth magics and shamanic practices, and in everyday life here in modern 2019, coming close to 2020. And also Raziel says, I will help you understand symbols and recognize synchronicities in symbols, which you are often sending to yourself. Your higher selves are sending your awareness, symbols and things like this. Your loved ones also send messages that way, signs. He'll help you unfold them and understand the truth. He wants you to know that you're safe. We've been taught that we're not allowed to talk to God by ourselves without maybe some kind of clergy. We are certainly not allowed to channel sometimes if in old belief systems, and this is because there are lower astral energies, entities that only exist here on Earth that have been infiltrating, infesting our energies. He said all of you have had attachments, and all of you have had just lurky, yucky thought forms, which most everything is, or we've all had to fight our own demons, per se. And he says, I'm helping you be aware as well of the lower energies and what that means, and how you can purposely know how to help and heal yourselves through the energies and frequencies and the light of God. He says he'll help you understand, and you can ask him to help you understand different perspectives. He's here to help us recognize different perspectives within any situation. So you can call on Archangel Raziel to help you with some deep, esoteric, knowing, ancient, sacred truths of God and connections with God, but also help us understand how to connect with each other. I'm sorry, I was moving so quickly, I lost the last piece. Remember, we're breathing in grace and releasing all resistance, pain, suffering, shadows inside of us, wounds, PTSD, depressions, oppressions, abandonments, fears, losses, grief, and the like, he says. Archangel Metatron is here and just wants you to know that you can just ask for much of this to be released over and over, and trust in the light, that you will be directed truly and correctly as it's almost like the changing of the guard goes on around us. It's shifting going on in each one of us, and maybe some of our old roles we will let go. Like maybe I will let go of being a victim to other people that didn't like something, or people taking my authority, and it just won't resonate with me anymore. So, maybe all of us will be able to release some of the resonance that we're not even aware of things like victimhood, or like the message earlier to the whatever man would the message was for, that nothing is ever going to go right for them. Everything's always taken. No one is going to help them. So maybe that resonance can be just vacuumed out, squeegeed out, so that they feel like the playing field or their role can very much receive love and abundance and everything good for them. Archangel Metatron says, I will also show some signs to everybody that we are sharing with humanity. And so the seal of Solomon, or the Star of David, is a symbol that's coming into awareness and understanding. It just has a frequency to help us understand something. I don't quite know. In our lines, we're realigning to our highest good. So that frequency is happening right now, and many more shifts to come. And Archangel Metatron is also helping us bless our connections, our relationships, our families. And some of you, he says, have some really neat new or old connections that you are going to make as far as family, relationships, friendships that are going to heal or up for healing. And you'll be surprised at some of the new things. Please remember to share your truth and help love one another and help each other. They're stepping back, so I hope there were some good messages for people, and it was fun, and I hope it was enjoyable, and I just send great love out to all of you. Thank you so much to all the archangels and our guides and guardian angels, and thank you to all of you. Thank you for the support and love, and I shall see you soon. Blessings.